What's up, everybody? This is Colin from Holistic Heritage Homestead. Hope you had an awesome Saturday. I had a great Saturday. I'm still getting settled in. Pardon my appearance. I was bringing some firewood in. I was checking on the livestock, making sure they were good for the night. Had to make sure, if you saw my Conquer the Cold video, that I had a good fireplace. Good wood stove action going on, good fire going to warm me because temperature's dropping here in the Ozarks, and this is really the change of the season. So get ready, folks. Get ready for the cold. Prepare, right? So we just got back from a wedding, actually, and great people, great wedding. We had a blast. And on my heart, on my mind was actually personal finances. And I know that's a sensitive subject for folks because none of us like to admit our faults or where we fall short as far as personal finances. But again, Saturday sit-downs are all about holding the mirror up to me and holding the mirror up to you. So where do we fall short? Our channel is called Holistic Heritage Homestead. And the heritage part is the wisdom from the elders. And what do the elders say? Waste not, want not. Wow. Let's think about it. Let's do some math. How much of your food do you waste per meal, per day, per month, whatever, that you leave on your plate? Because at the time you were not hungry enough, which, by the way, just defers that hunger because you need a certain caloric intake per day no matter what is going on, right? You defer it to the next meal. How much are you wasting? How much are you throwing in the garbage? If you saw my video about composting and feeding livestock, first of all, it should be never on a homestead. For the homestead folks out there, there's no such thing as waste. There's no such thing as waste. There's no room for waste, no time for waste. It goes to the animals, it goes to the compost, it goes to whatever. We throw nothing about, like, pretty much plastic and miscellaneous things, right? Stop wasting. Stop wasting. That's money. Just slow it down. Think about it. If you spend $800 a month to feed 3 to 5 people, inflation, whatever, throwing numbers out there, right? And you're wasting 1/3 of your food, that's some serious money being wasted, folks. Serious money, right? Per week, per month, per year, serious money. Stop wasting. Number 2, defer your expenses. We all have impulses. We all have compulsive tendencies, right? There's always things you need, especially in a homestead. You're like, I need this garden tool, I need this, this prep, I need this, I need this, I need this, I need this, I want this, I want this. What's a need and what's a want? Separate the two. Need and want, separate the two, number 1. Number 2, what can you buy later as opposed to now? And listen, if most of you folks like us, we work hard, we're like working class people, we both have jobs, my wife and I, full-time workers, plus this. You don't have a lot of discretionary income or cash sitting in the bank to just be like, yeah, cash. So what do? You lean on credit cards, which is horrible. Horrible. Don't lean on debt. A separate video, I will absolutely do a separate video on why debt and particularly usury and credit cards and all that stuff is just horrible. It will enslave you, truly. But anyway, so something pops into your mind. You need this. You want this. If you're going to put it on credit, why pay interest on that charge? Let's say $1,000 charge. I don't care if it's $1 or $1,000. The principle is the same. $1,000 charge, and you're going to pay crazy interest in that as long as it takes you to pay that off, instead of waiting till you have more money and paying your balance down and fighting that interest wave. Defer the expense. And also, when you defer the expense, you find out if you really need or want it or not. You might find, let me tell you, in life is crazy. You might be like, I absolutely need this thing. And then a week later, something comes into your world and you find out you don't really need it or want it that much. And you would have never bought that thing at all. The old expression again, sleep on it. Don't just let it come in and just react. Don't be reactive. Sleep on it. Meditate. Pray. See if it really is the right time for that expense. Because if you can defer it, at the very least, you're saving money in the interest. Right? Okay. Truly. Also, be pragmatic. And by pragmatic, I mean be realistic even. Be honest with yourself. Like, what can you really accomplish in a certain amount of time? We all want to conquer the world and do A, B, and C, but maybe it's only A or maybe B in our schedule for this year. When we moved here about 13, 14 months ago, we had 8 major projects that we wanted to do in our property, and we got between arguably 4 to 5 done. And of course, myself as a perfectionist, as an overachiever, I beat myself up every day about that. But those 4 or 5 projects that we got done are huge, and they've helped us dramatically. So focus on what you got done, when you could realistically or pragmatically, what could really get done. Otherwise, you'll start to feel like you're on the homestead hamster wheel or the treadmill. Your legs are moving, you're working hard, but you feel like you're going nowhere. Don't forget, even on a treadmill, folks, your heart's working, your pulmonary system is working, your muscles are working. You are working and you are accomplishing, even if you may not feel like you're going anywhere, you know? So be pragmatic and I don't want to say lower your expectations, because I'm all about work ethic and getting it done, but don't beat yourself up. If you're honestly trying, that's where the honesty comes in. If you're honestly trying and you're doing the best you could do, but you're not exactly where you want to be, that's okay. It's okay. The money can wait, the time can wait, because you're doing the best you can do, right? Besides that, cutting expenses. Do you really need, and if I told you in this household, we have no cable. None. No cable. No Netflix. We have a couple of things, you know, but we don't have a lot of things. And first of all, it's liberating. Second of all, it's all poison. The propaganda is being pushed on those things. I'm not gonna Saturday sit down. I'm gonna keep it real with you. It's all garbage. It's all poison. Your intellectual diet is garbage. Instead of Netflix and chill, pick up a book. Instead of Netflix and chill, do like we used to do back in the days. Call a girl on the phone. Go to her house. Ask her on a date. Bring her on a date. Be a gentleman. And you know what? Better than that, you know what's better than watching a movie and doing your thing? Sit next to a beautiful fire and having an intellectual discussion. Building commonality. Fostering relationships. Real relationships. I'm serious. Like, listen, to the homies out there, hear me on this. There's nothing better than the old ways when it comes to dating and courting and marketing oneself. Really, save money. Do it the real way. Do it the organic, grassroots way, and just get out there. Speaking of that, your phone bill. Do you need what you use? Your insurance. Do you need what you have? There's so many ways, but I want you to go down the line and just slash and burn your expenses. Truly, truly. And I put a video out about this because cutting your expenses is giving yourself a raise, in short. And there's nothing better you can do. Labor. Stay busy. Whether it's a homestead or it's a household. It's cold outside. Insulate your windows. I don't care if you take, who cares about the whole thing? Take some plastic. Take some materials that can insulate well and just shove them in there. And then cover them with duct tape and plastic. I don't care what it is. Do something to save the heat in your house. Truly, right? What are you doing to save on your utilities, right? What are you doing for your property? You gotta think ahead. And lastly, food. If I told you that you can have an ROI or return on investment of 30 to 100, 200, 300% on something that was guaranteed, you would be absolutely on board. So if I tell you it's not as cool and fun and romantic and awesome, but if I tell you that food prices have been going up, besides shrinkflation, again, separate video, I mean, direct food prices are going up around the world. Wouldn't you want to produce or grow your own money or your own food? Because it's one and the same, right? What are you doing? What are you doing? Grow your own food. Or buy the food now. If something is $1 today and you know it's going to be $5 in a month from now, how do you reconcile the difference? You buy it now. You know what's really cool about food is you always need it. You always need food. You're always going to need to eat. Buy the food now. Again, I'm not a financial strategist. I'm not this and that, and I'm not any. I know nothing is my general disclaimer. Anyway, I would encourage you to buy a bunch of food now, because as it gets more expensive, it's going to be prohibitively expensive, and you will not be able to. And even if it stays at a steady 3 to 5% CPI, Consumer Price Index of goods, and inflation rate, then you know what? You still buy it now because it's gonna go up. Hence the whole theory behind government-based or indexed inflation bonds. Anyway, I mean, really, buy some food, buy some water, all that stuff. Super, super, super important. And just one more thing, real quick. I want you really just to focus on this, is always look at things in a formulaic manner. And this was life-changing for me when I was young, and it changed my life forever, because when I was making a lot of money when I was young, I had money coming in, money coming out, I was doing things and buying new cars, and I was really foolish, really foolish, not knowing how much I would love to have that money in the future, right? That being said, besides deferring expenses and what do you really need, what do you really want, and just being frugal, besides all that stuff, and the labor, I think it's the most important thing truly is what money is time, and time is money. When you look at something, and it's a $500 thing, and whether, I don't care, listen, I made a little bit of money in my time, I made a lot of money in my life. So I'm going to tell you right now, no competition here. $500 item, $1,000 item. How many hours did you have to work to earn that amount of money? $1,000. How many hours do you have to work to earn $1,000, or $500, or $100? And really break it down to, when you get really good at it, how many hours do you work to make $50, $20, $10, you know? And once you really look at it that way, the perspective changes. You start to really appreciate what you do, because most of us are just working class people. And when you realize in 1 hour of work, and I love my work, I'm so blessed, but honestly, my work is still work. There's nothing better than being with my wife, being with my son, fishing, eating, cooking, relaxing, taking care of the homestead, right? There's nothing better than that. Nothing in the world. It never will be. That's the life. That's a real dream, right? So when I think of the work that I do and the people I deal with and the blood, sweat, and tears and the time spent away from those who matter most, then yeah, it gets real personal. And you start to say, you start to think differently. You start to say, well, I spent 10 hours away from my son to get that thing. It's not about you. Your selfishness goes away. It just dissipates like a vapor. It goes away. Because time is money and money is time. Please hear me, folks. Listen to me. This is real. when you start to really get, I don't want to say be miserly or be overly frugal or thrifty. Those are all good things, surely. I don't say it's a good thing, but you know what? What are you giving of yourself? Who is losing? Are you not seeing your significant other? Are you not spending time with family? Are you not reinvesting in your own business and working for yourself because you're busy just on that treadmill, rat racing, right? Don't do it, folks. Don't do it. Your time is so valuable, and it's the one finite resource that we all have. And I would equitably argue that as you get older, you think more about time. You care less about money. But money as a medium of exchange to simply get the things we need to get, to unplug from this horrible beast system. You got to play the game until you're unplugged. But again, this is my last videos. Head in the direction, orient yourself of true unplugging, literally, figuratively, from the beast system. Get off grid. But no one deserves your time more than your loved ones. And you deserve to put time into your business, into yourself, your health, your wellness. And if you're slaving for a job, I would argue that you're not doing it right. And that's not a snobbish thing. It's I'm in that position. I work hard or grind hard, but I'm shifting and moving and pivoting towards, and I'm heading towards the right direction. And I hope you folks will too. All these basic tips about just honestly frugality and being thrifty and deferring expenses and not keeping up with the Joneses and all this basic stuff just reminds you, because motivation is like food. We need it every day. People can watch the video and say, I knew this. And oh, do you? Do you put it into practice? Do you put it into use? I don't know. I'm not perfect. I still fall short, but I think there's a lot of things in this video that will have value to many folks. And I hope you have an awesome Saturday, an awesome Sunday. Nothing but love for you folks. If you like it, like, comment, subscribe, please share. Hit the comments below. Let me know how you save money, how you make money, how you tend to be resourceful, and how you prioritize your time as far as making sure you're delegating the right amount of time towards your family and the things that actually matter. I'd love to hear from you because I love learning from you folks. And I hope you have a great weekend and take care.